Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. Right, it's Boxing Day and I've been given permission to come into the man cave to create some content because Christmas is stressful, isn't it? And all I want to do is be amongst guitars and amplifiers and all that sort of stuff. So what I thought I'd do today is to do my gear of the year. Now, I thought I'd pick 2 guitars, 2 amplifiers and 2 pedals as my gear of the year. I couldn't decide on 1 guitar, 1 amp and 1 pedal because there's been so much good stuff that's come in and out of Studio Rats HQ here that I couldn't decide. So as I said, what I'm going to do is pick my 2 favourite amps, 2 favourite pedals and 2 favourite guitars. Now the last entry, which I'm going to do right at the end, because yes, it's a trick to make you watch the whole video. You might be quite surprised at, but what I'm going to do is to start with one of my favourite pedals of the year, which is this. This is the Crazy Tube Circuits White Whale. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to play some of the examples from the videos of my favourite gear, but let's start with the White Whale. This is a spring reverb and a tremolo. Now, one of my favourite effects of all time is a tremolo. Just sounds great and it hides so many mistakes. Honestly, it does. And the great thing about this pedal here is it covers the whole sort of tremolo spectrum from octo to tube to harmonic tremolo. I've become a big fan of harmonic tremolo over the last year and this has really helped. But this has got a real spring reverb in it as well. And I think this thing sounds absolutely amazing. Now next, and you guys would have guessed it, I'm sure if you watch the channel, is my Valiant Mercury. Valiant Guitars are a guitar company based over in Ukraine, and they make some of the best guitars, especially for the money as well, that you can buy. Now these guitars not only sound fantastic, they've got some really clever switching on it where you can take it from series, parallel and single coil. So you get loads of different switching options and sound options. And here's a couple of examples. Now, one of the things that I think is really special about this guitar, I really struggle with HSS guitars, and there's more guitars coming next year which are going to cover a lot of that sort of bass. But I really struggle with getting an HSS guitar, one, to sound like a Strat, and two to sound as good as a Les Paul, say like in the bridge position. Loads of them sound either great doing one but not the other. This is absolutely fantastic, does great clean tones, absolutely fantastic overdrive tones, and it's just such a versatile guitar. Next, let's do an amplifier. I was over at Henning Pauli's event, which is 42 Gear Street, back in August, I think it was. And one of the companies that were there were TWWS Amplifiers. I tried out the 2864S, which is, I guess you could say, a chimey sort of AC style amp, even though it's 6L6 based or 6V6 based. I can't remember which. Sorry, Mario. And when I tried this amplifier out at 42 Gear Street, I knew that this was going to replace any sort of AC amp that I had in the studio. And this is my go-to clean amp, and it sounds like this. It is a one-channel amp, but it does drive really nicely, and here's an example of it with the preamp gain cranked up. By the way, I'll leave all the details for all of this gear that I'm reviewing today, and you guys can go and check it out, but go and have a look in the notes and it'll all be there. Now next I want to do the ultimate overdrive pedal, or I should say high gain overdrive pedal, which is the Mezzabarba Even Drive. This, when it came into the studio, absolutely blew me away. Now this is not a cheap product at all, as I've been told many times in the comments, but if you're looking for high gain tones that are incredibly articulate, you can't do better than this. It's got two valves in it. This, to me, if you're running something like an Axe FX, Kemper, a Quad Cortex, something like that, and you're looking for a sort of valve front end, this for me is irreplaceable, and it's the best overdrive pedal I've ever tried. Now next, another amplifier, the AMS DBA 50. This came through only a couple of weeks ago, but this, as I said in the video, completely has changed the way that I record amplifiers now in the studio. As I said in the video, what I normally do is to plug these amplifiers into a load box, an attenuator, that sort of stuff, and then run it straight into my DAW. Now with this amplifier, because you get such amazing tones at low volumes, this enables me to have a speaker over the other side of my studio, which is mic'd up, and then I can record straight from the speaker, which I don't normally do because I normally have to crank an amplifier up. Now, if you want to buy one amplifier that does great clean tones, great overdrive tones, and even great high gain tones at a low volume, but can get very loud because it's a 50-watt amp, I would highly recommend one of these. I think they are absolutely amazing. Now lastly, one of the cheapest bits of gear that I've reviewed this year, but one of the pieces of gear that I've been most impressed with is this. This is a Harley Benton T20. This is one of Harley Benton's Telecaster style guitars. I think they're about £130, something like that. This absolutely blew me away. Now this for me is the best, if you're on a budget, guitar that I think you can buy. And it plays and sounds way above what it actually costs. I would even say that this guitar is as good as anything that's coming out of the Mexican factory from Fender. I think this guitar for the money is an absolute steal. Now don't get me wrong, is this as good as the Valiant? No. Is it as good as my custom shop Telecasters? No, it's not. But for the money, this is hands down the best guitar you can buy. Thank you so much for all your support over the past year. I'm getting so close to the 100,000 subscribers, and it's quite exciting because ever since I started doing this, I've always wanted one of those silver play buttons. So hopefully middle of January, I should get one of those. So very excited about that. Again, if you haven't subscribed and you watch these videos, you'll be doing me a massive favor if you do subscribe, and you get to watch in here all the usual guff that comes from this channel. But again, thank you so much for all your support during this past year. I really hope you guys got something out of this video. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe, click on the bell button, and to be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.